The MCU has been on shaky ground lately. Past few movies and shows have left the three of us less than enthused. Will this be a show that finally cracks the code? Kinda. So suit up, grab your grappling hook, and listen to other people's heartbeats to tell if they're lying? We're heading to Hell's Kitchen for this review of Daredevil Born Again on this episode of Three-Dimensional Dads.
Three friends, all geeks, exploring every dimension of being a dad.
I'm Jay.
I'm Derek.
And I'm Ian.
And none of us are both sightless and have super hearing. In fact, my hearing is pretty terrible.
Me too. It's pretty bad hearing. I'm jealous of his good hearing.
Yes.
Like when a bomb goes off near him, I'm like, that's going to hurt his. If your ears are ringing, Daredevil, you're losing hearing.
Do you remember that episode of The Boys where like they had the Daredevil like parallel and Homelander just goes, what if I did this? And he like hits him in the ears and he's like, oh, now you're just a regular guy.
Well, weirdly enough, though, I am hearing like lightsabers and like the Imperial March going on because it actually is. We are recording this on May the 4th. Star Wars Day. Star Wars Day. We're recording Marvel.
Hello there. We should change the opening. Hello there. Hello there. Hello there. Hello there.
It's all the same stuff.
It is all the same. I mean, like, look, whatever.
However, propaganda.
I say whatever you geek, however you geek, fine by me, even if it's all with the House of Mouse. But yeah, we're recording this on May the 4th. Tomorrow is Revenge of the 5th. And we just got done seeing Thunderbolts, so you can see our video review of that on our YouTube channel. Maybe we'll put a link down here somewhere. In the basement. I don't know. We'll do that. But the MCU it's fairly busy right now. We got Born Again season 2 is filming. Okay.
Yes.
We have Punisher perhaps having his own thing, one-off.
I thought it was. Is that official? I mean, I don't know if that's a rumor or official, but yeah.
I think it's pretty much official. I mean, his episode's got the best ratings, so
right.
I think.
I can imagine October. We had Werewolf by Night. I can imagine there being.
I think it's coming sometime in 26.
Cool.
Because there's a lot going on this year. We have Fantastic Four in a couple months. We have Ironheart actually comes out in June. So we have June, July, and then there's some stuff in the fall. So there's a ton of stuff going on.
Yeah.
But right now, our job is to tell you all the spoilery review stuff about Daredevil. So if you have not seen it, pause, go watch the thing, and come back, because we are going to spoil all sorts of stuff for Daredevil Born Again Season 1. With that, Vincent D'Onofrio. He is pretty much the best casting in the MCU, maybe since Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. There is no other actor, in my humble opinion, that could pull off the cadence, the presence, the looks, like his eye lines to people. That scene where the kid, Gandolfini's son, like spoiled something about his development plans of Red Hook, and he's like, basically he's telling him, if you screw up again, I'm going to kill you. But he's doing it in like a way like, I'm giving you this opportunity. Oh, I have chills just thinking about it.
I love his restraint where, like, he's holding back, but just under the surface is anger. Like, he's so good at that.
Good. His presence. So good. I think, and again, I think the second thing it goes along with this is that Daredevil is pretty much the most consistent character and IP of the MCU. Since the Netflix show, I don't think there has been one bad Daredevil product. The Defenders got some crap, rightfully so. It was a little uneven, but Daredevil 1, 2, and 3 seasons on Netflix were great. The Defenders, Daredevil was great. His cameos in Spider-Man and She-Hulk were great.
Well, Charlie Cox. I mean, I think you got to say an actor that as good as Charlie Cox, no matter what he's in, he's doing all these different writers and all these different shows. Yeah. But he brings that through. He's just quality, no matter what the writing is. Yeah. He's such a good actor.
And
he sells.
The idea of Daredevil that has been consistent the whole way through, like who he is, like this tortured guy. I think,
or
that's
has
what I
it
loved.
been consistent? I thought She-Hulk was a departure. And then Born Again kind of brought it back to a much more serious, like when he had the yellow costume and he was very agile. I thought his agility was different in She-Hulk that I liked. I thought it was good.
Well, I know you're going to rip that later. I know you're going to rip that later because you're a big through level guy. But I think him in that show was pretty consistent to who we think of the character as, his acting, right? And that's really what we're talking about, the acting. I mean, the effects and the stunts, you're going to have different things all over the place, but that's the last word I have. The thing I love is just this consistency. I felt like I've never left Hell's Kitchen in watching this.
I might argue another point on the like best casting in Marvel, because what about Spider-Man?
Spider-Man.
I mean, that is that. It's a small part, but I mean, like, I just love him playing that
J.
character.
Jonah Jameson, yeah.
I mean, that,
Yeah.
if you ever drew the comic book character and then you put him in it, like,
That's true.
Come on.
Yeah. So 1A, 1B.
I'm just kidding.
All right, tune into our new episode about best casting in the MCU. It's coming out next week.
Oh, Spider-Man. The one, what I really did like about Daredevil Born Again, and I did not like go into all of the Netflix series when they had come out. I really enjoyed the restraint of this being a masked vigilante show. This was more of a almost cop crime lawyer drama to me than the first Daredevil. The first Daredevil, he was developing, like, it was almost like a Batman origin kind of story. To me, this was very different. This played on a lot of emotions. This had a lot to do with even criminal justice. It was more like a cop story. Like, it was more of that, like, crime, you know, gangster versus each other, and there were vigilantes in the world, and it was part of the subject matter and part of the social commentary. I really felt like after Andor just came out, this was almost the Marvel equivalent of, like, there being this sort of serious, grounded in reality take on a superhero world. Just like, to me, Andor has this realism about what the story is about, the politics behind it, the motivations of people. And I felt that was really interesting for a Marvel property. You know, we just saw Thunderbolts, and I thought that took on, like, a very different subject matter too. And I thought this was a very different take on just what would be like a comic book story.
Mental health was a through line with both of those, where wow, they're really talking about it,
right? Like, sitting down with the psychiatrist, right? Yeah, exactly. The Muse, right, and sitting down with, like, all his problems and everything, right? It was just like it really had this big arc to it, and it left you wanting more at the end. Like, you did not, it wasn't a clear, this was not cut and dry. Like you said, season 2 is coming out. You know, that you have not established the hero save the day. You're establishing it kind of was more world building than it was like a complete story arc. So you're left for season 2. You're left for, you know, what's happening down the road.
Very much Empire Strikes Back.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Not so much like the, you know, it wasn't kind of like, you know, the snap kind of, literally, I mean, the snap, like an Endgame, right? But I mean, it did leave you like, where is New York going, right? And it had that question, like, who are the heroes? Who are the villains? Are people going to rise up against this threat? And that plays a lot into reality right now, too.
Yeah.
Think about our worlds. What about you, Ian?
So I thought you guys took a lot of stuff that I was going to say. I agree. You know, I love this show. But I thought some of the little details that I really loved, the rooftop vault that he has with all of his cowls up there. I love that. Batman has that where, like, there's some good sequences in what Batman Returns, Batman Forever, where he suits up and he has all of his gadgets on the wall and he, like, picks the cool bat-shaped gadgets and all of his suits in a row. Like, I always think that's awesome getting to see that. So I dug that we got that from and I thought, too, they were showing the Daredevil horn so much, the broken horn. I was like, well, he have to go get
metaphor,
a new cowl.
baby, metaphor.
Yeah, but then he has a ton of those cowls up there. I'm like, just pick another one. I think they had a gray suit. They had the suit from She-Hulk. Like, that's fun. That's always cool to do. And then another moment that I love so much was between Punisher and Daredevil. It's when they were kind of in the Punisher's, you know, den or wherever he, you know, his headquarters. And he's almost like the devil on Daredevil's shoulder. Like, he understands him in a way where, like, Daredevil's fooling himself, and he's telling this whole story about how he doesn't justice and vengeance and all this. And I love that the Punisher sees right through that.
Yep.
And he gives him a hard time, and he asks him those hard questions, and they're fighting it out. But you know, this is all like Matt's internal dialogue.
Say his name, Red. Say his name.
Right. But I love right. It's so good. And I love that. Like, these two heroes getting to relate to each other about what it's like to be a hero, and we're like dissecting being a superhero and being a vigilante and all that. I thought that was such a good moment. John Barenthal was so great.
That conversation in the apartment before the big fight with the VTF, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And then he starts off by saying, "You don't have a goddamn thing to make a good cup of coffee." You know, I'm like that's the way to open it, right? Yeah. But then you're right, and they talk about all this really deep stuff about things that aren't real, like being superheroes, right?
Right.
But you can almost replace superhero with like being a father, being a police officer, being a firefighter, being in the military, being this, being that, right? Like it's really about like those dark places that we have. You know, not dark evil, but like the stuff that really like hurts us inside.
It reminded me of when Hawkeye talks to Scarlet Witch. Is like he says, look at me, I'm just a guy with a string on it and a stick.
Guy with a bow and arrow.
But I love that when they really like you get to the root of these characters and their actual thoughts. And like I love those moments when they're really you get a little glimpse of that. Awesome. Adds depth to it rather than just like things are exploding, there are buildings, there are aliens coming, kill them. Like, that's great too, but I like the dark internal stuff. So we're talking about things that could be better. Derek, do you have things that were misses for you?
Big spoiler coming. Spoiler coming.
Okay, and
watch the show.
You only need to see the first episode.
Yes.
To really understand. But like, if you've seen the Netflix series before, Charlie Cox, Daredevil, has, two friends. He works with his longtime buddy, Foggy, who I guess in the first basically episode of the thing, he gets killed off. And I don't know if it is a separation from the Netflix series that they tried to establish. But to me, he was this pivot to Daredevil, right? Like to his real life. He was the lightheartedness, the person that always brought him to that other side. And what is interesting is seeing Daredevil's character in the MCU, there is this lighter side to him. And I thought that my criticism or something of this is that this was so dark and so serious. There was not any comic relief. Part of the comic relief was like when Fisk was really serious, and that that's like and that was not a lot of moments that came out of that, right? So to me, it was like the pendulum was like the complete other way. If Daredevil, the original series, was pretty dark, I mean, you had Foggy being kind of like that. The droid, like the lightheartedness of it, there was none of that in the series.
He kept Matt grounded.
Really, right. It was just really dark most of the time, and like you had Punisher, basically that was his buddy, like in the suit, So it's pretty.
I'm gonna chop him up.
There wasn't really any lighter moments in the series. It was all very serious to me.
Right, which was a real like tire screech from where we saw him last on She-Hulk.
Yeah.
She-Hulk, he's doing quips, and he's funny, and, like, Charlie Cox is really funny on top of it.
Yeah, right.
He's a great serious actor, but he has that other side of, like, making the jokes. So I always think about, like, Spider-Man and Daredevil. They quip all the time, and they make light of things, and they're funny. This was really dark and heavy. We didn't get as much of that. But I also thought, some of the things that I thought could be improved on. I don't think they used his agility enough. And I thought She-Hulk, they did that really well. Is that, because he's supposed to have he has a bunch of superpowers. It's not just hearing. Heightened senses, heightened reflexes, heightened agility. It's like the reflexes in Spider-Man where he catches the brick coming in through the window.
Yep.
Or, in She-Hulk where he can like jump around and kind of swing in a way that's just a little bit, they turn up that notch a little bit so it's not human. And we had some of that in like the opening scene. I love that when Daredevil fights Bullseye in the opening of this in episode 1.
Yeah.
Awesome fight, so good. He's swinging on the grappling hook. He's jumping up over, like you get like these comic poses that he's hitting. Not a lot of that after. I feel like his main superpower is listening to heartbeats. I feel like that is his go-to, is like, is someone telling the truth?
That's sweet.
I know, right? Does she love me? I know, right? The heartbeat
Andy when
seems
you're a
like
lawyer.
Yeah.
like, that is his go-to thing. But another problem I had with Daredevil Born Again is the repeated storylines. I feel like I'm a little done with these, like, the hero. He's done being the hero. He doesn't want to do it anymore. Spider-Man's lost his will to Spider-Man. Okay, great story, very cool, but we get one Spider-Man movie every 5 years. Can we just watch him being awesome Spider-Man? Can we have him at his peak?
I hope that's the next movie.
That's what I struggle with. It's like, we don't get a lot of Daredevil. It's like, I want him to be daredeviling and being like a hero on the streets or like doing stuff. And it feels like this was very reactionary Daredevil that they already did in the story. The Netflix series did this. He decided not to be Daredevil, found out the reason to be Daredevil, and decided to be Daredevil. And then this season, they're like, now he's not sure again. Come on. It's like, or Fisk. I mean, I also thought giant tire screech with the last season of Daredevil on Netflix, where he took down Fisk. He showed the world Fisk's true colors. He put him in prison. It was done. And then he's like mayor of New York. He's like, it's fine. That never really happened. What?
I'm thinking of a.
You're right. That's a little strap.
Yeah, but I'm thinking of a real world parallel where a leader, lost election, was convicted of crimes, and then all of a sudden becomes a leader again. I don't know where they got that storyline, but you know what my problem was? My problem was Muse.
Oh.
Because you could barely say his name before he was dead. It did not. It inspired me to complain. That's what it inspired me to do, because they brought him in. He's a great villain, one of Daredevil's best adversaries, and they killed him. Now, caveat, I didn't mind everything up to him dying, until Muse died. But I don't think they should have killed him. I think he should have been mortally wounded. Move him to some maximum security, put him on the raft. I don't know, like do something like that.
Arc going.
But like save him, right? He would be great in the next season with the VTF. Like they'd have to face off against him too. But they killed him. So I'm like, my big thing is like, why kill him? Why?
I wanted better scenes with him when he was with a therapist. She wrote all these books on being a vigilante. Yeah. He's in there, and he was pretty much just going to kill her. It felt like he wanted to kill her. He was like, his mind was set on that she's the next.
See, I like that.
I wanted him to reveal below the surface and be like, "Oh, this guy's really messed up. Oh my god."
Yeah, and had that potential too.
Yeah, you got a taste of that. I like that. I thought that was okay, but it really did build up to him. She kills him, and then all of a sudden he's not here anymore. And they didn't like fake it, like, oh, let's get him to the hospital. Like, no, he did. He did. That's it. No more Muse. Also, something I didn't think they utilized the way they could have was White Tiger. They wrapped up the White Tiger storyline, right? He gets killed by the cop in the VTF. But his niece is supposed to be the next White Tiger. And they didn't tease that. And I think they're bringing her back for season 2. And I would have liked to see a little bit of a tease of the White Tiger should live on, because that's another one of the big street level heroes. And I will get to this in a second. But, I missed that too, because I thought that's a great character.
And the amulet. There's a power amulet that you put on. I was like, I feel like when you have a TV show and you have like the rifle over the mantle and you show a close up of the rifle, you're telling your audience that rifle's going to go off. Someone's shooting that rifle. You show us that amulet, you're like, I put it on and it gives me superpowers. Or we're like, put it on, do it. And like, no. And then you're like, will Daredevil get it? Can it give him more superpower? No. Okay, the niece is there. Introducing the niece. I'm like, maybe later.
But that leads us to this, like, okay, so we wrapped up this season. It was great, but what's coming next?
Yeah.
What's coming next?
I thought it was a little weird that his girlfriend didn't find out he was Daredevil. I thought when he swings in and he saves her, listen, Matt Murdock, you got to shave your beard. If you have a beard and Daredevil has a beard, and it's the same beard, I feel like it gives you away even more. And I just thought, and he's even talking. He's like even in the room like, hey, how's it going? And he's not doing like the gruff Batman voice. Like, she's gotta know. They never address it.
I mean, she has a PhD.
She wrote a book on it. I mean, I want her to just slowly. I wanted the Lois Lane moment where she figures it out, where she's like, she knows Clark is doing something.
Kirsten Dunst in Spider-Man. Remember when she figured out? She kisses him, and all of a sudden it's like,
I love that.
There you go.
Ah, so good. You know, I know also the other thing I'm super looking forward to, Punisher special. I don't know if it's a rumor, if it's official, but John Barenthal, he is awesome. And he's so good. And he had great moments here where he's like, you're a bunch of clowns. Awesome. You're the man. So good.
He needs a movie. I think he needs a movie. I think he needs a standalone movie.
Oh, yeah. Such a good actor.
A long-form story. Yes, all that. And they're setting up this rebellion versus Fisk and the VTF, right? So there have been some spoilers out there about, Murdoch and Karen Page on the street. He's not just as Daredevil. There is a alleged thing about, the suit he wears, and I won't spoil that because that's season 2, but like of what suit he wears. But I think that in the next season, you're going to have, I hope, you're going to have Frank Castle because he's still back. The teaser at the end was Frank Castle escaping the dungeon of vigilantes. But bring back the Defenders. Bring back Jessica Jones, Luke Cage. I'd even like Danny Rand Iron Fist with some better writing. I liked the Defenders. I liked the idea of a team up. One of my favorite things about Marvel Comics is that you used to have these teams, and not just the Avengers, not just the Fantastic Four, but you had these street level team, like people who worked like without, and they don't have like the mega powers. They're not like Captain America or Iron Man, right? Jessica Jones
snaps. That's someone else's job.
Yeah.
When a cat's in a tree, you call it Daredevil.
Well, even so, like they fight organized crime. They fight stuff going on in New York, and like that gives New York its own personality as well. If you know what I'm saying, like how these characters operate in New York City. Because I mean, New York is. Like, I'm not a big fan of going to New York. I small doses. I love New York in small doses. But it does have, like, New York is its own character. Like, more than any other city. Right. New York is its own character. So seeing these guys play in New York is something I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what happens, like, does Fisk have to call the Avengers when the space stuff comes? And then, like, you have the other, like, level team of, like, Luke Cage and company. No, I think that seems like the Defenders, right, is the obvious place to go to me. Yeah. I thought, actually, that Luke Cage got teased in this, but I guess I'm wrong, because I thought that the police commissioner got into the car at the end with Luke Cage. But maybe I'm wrong about that. I thought there was crossover there.
I thought I saw him in the vigilante prison. I thought I saw Luke Cage in the vigilante prison, but I don't think a cage would hold Luke Cage. Luke Cage.
I thought that was another spoiler other than like Punisher coming in, because I thought they were going to bring them all in, but no. To me, I don't know where. Also, like, I mean, is there Echo incoming? And I mean,
I like that character.
Where are all the other, people in New York? We have, like, New York seems to be the superhero city. Like,
maybe it's all from New York.
Right. We got, like, so I guess this goes to the bigger question, right? What does this mean for the MCU? What is the bigger storyline for the MCU here?
So this is actually the thing that popped out of my brain the first when I saw this on our script. This should be a prelude to what we're going to see in the next Spider-Man movie. And it should be Spider-Man with street-level heroes. Daredevil, Punisher would be great, against Kingpin and, like, Adrian Toomes the Vulture, Matt Gorgon the Scorpion. Not like Doc Ock and, like, the big Spider-Man villains, but I'd like to see the Vulture. Like, have Wilson Fisk utilize his rogues gallery, if you will. Like, Wilson Fisk always used to run the show with the street level villains, with Vulture, with Shocker, with Scorpion. So, like, I hope that's what they do in the next Spider-Man movie. That's what I think.
Kingpin is in the Spider-Man movies, the Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Like, Kingpin is a Spider-Man villain in all of that.
Yeah.
Right.
So, like, how are we not getting that crossover in live action or any of that?
Could you imagine Tom Holland fighting Vincent D'Onofrio?
Well, that would be
Miles
great.
Morales fighting Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's another thing, but that's not with Daredevil. I think they're going to bring Miles Morales in and start transitioning through these next 3 Spider-Man movies.
They should.
We have multiple universes and everything else, so God knows what's going on. Well, just bring Loki in and everyone, there'll be timelines all over the place. It's going to be like the 80s timelines. You're going to have to like get a pencil in and like reset the tape.
Well, as long as Loki's sitting on a chair holding the tree, being part of a tree that keeps the timelines, and I don't know what happened.
Wilson's just like, wow.
I think, wow, it's great. No, I think we're done with timelines and multiverses.
I know. Just in time for Secret Wars. I mean, that's what I feel like. Daredevil, I don't super know the Secret Wars comics, but I always thought Daredevil was part of them. They're traveling the multiverse.
Yeah.
Derek, what about you? Like, what bigger picture? Give me your big picture.
I think there's the opportunity, whether it is like what you're saying, that Daredevil and company are into the Spider-Man universe, or can it be the other way around, that Spider-Man comes to the Daredevil universe, right? And we have some of the bigger characters visiting the littler ones.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've already seen, right, like Charlie Cox, like do an appearance in Spider-Man movies and stuff. So like, it'd be really great if we had some of that go the other way too, I think, with some of these things and tie them together. We have like so many of these people. Like, let's start. Get Sam Wilson in here for like a little cameo or something. For
and they're all in New York. I mean, it's a big city, but it's not that big.
It's a huge city, but I mean, like, come on, take the subway.
I also think Haley Steinfeld is Spider-Gwen. She's already the voice of Spider-Gwen. She'd be the best Spider-Gwen. She's Kate Bishop in our universe.
Yeah.
I know. She's going to be part of Young Avengers. Come on. Do both. Do both. Come on.
Oh, I can't wait. If they do Young Avengers,
we have like aliens somewhere around, running around too, right? I mean,
the Skrulls, yeah.
Ataris and like, I don't know what.
So I don't know how you have Fisk as the mayor of New York and be that big of a criminal and not have Spider-Man be like, wait a minute, like no one's caught wind of all this. He's crushing people's heads.
Yeah.
Like, New York is such a hot spot for all these movies, MCU movies, that I never know what they're going to cherry pick and have in the background. I mean, I feel like Avengers Tower is always in the background somewhere. The Steve Rogers musical is always in the background somewhere.
Yeah.
So like, we're getting more and more of this kind of stuff. So I would not be surprised if you see Fisk, a poster in, upcoming in other movies or something.
And there's a lot that's upcoming too.
Yeah,
a bunch. So we'll have to see.
Yeah. We will have to see, and we'll put all the list of the stuff we know coming up down in the description. But I think for that, I think it's been a great talk about Daredevil. Please go watch it now if you haven't watched it already, and enjoy.
Where parenting meets geek culture.
We're a bunch of clowns, you know that? Watch Daredevil, you'll get what that reference was. But thank you for joining us for this, our Daredevil Born Again review. We're all huge MCU fans, and we'll watch everything coming out in the future, especially this summer with Fantastic Four and Ironheart. So that's coming up. But what did you think? What did you think about Daredevil? You can get us on Instagram and TikTok at 3Dimensional Dads, or email us 3dimensionaldads, all one word, at gmail.com.
The next few episodes are going to be a blast. We're reviewing Thunderbolts, and it's finally our annual summer movie preview.
Find us on YouTube, Apple, Spotify at 3 Dimensional Dads.